Okay, I've got the Edison cylinder player out again because as I was making the video that featured this, right at the very end, literally the last couple of shots I needed to get, it broke on me. Fortunately, it was late enough in the video that I could work around the issue by reusing some footage that I'd shot earlier on and dubbing the audio over. But the issue with it is that there's a bolt in it that snapped. Now, before I open it up, I'll just mention on the side here, you'll see these things. There's one either side, and that's what holds the lid on. Now, as anybody who collects these things will tell you, never carry them by the handle because the lid holds onto the bottom, but it's just those that are holding the whole thing together. If you're holding that and those just pop out a tiny bit, your whole thing falls on the floor and smashes. I can't say it, smashes. That's it, that's the correct way to say it. I was winding it up and it went like boom, and then suddenly I could hear things rattle around inside, which are these. I've put them in tape so I don't lose them. This is hanging down. It should not be hanging down. It should be held in that position up there. There's a bolt there, I think you can see, that goes through there and holds it there. Well, there's supposed to be another one of those round about back here somewhere that holds it there. And that's what snapped off. The top of the bolt just went flying off, broke off and dropped to the bottom as I was winding it, because of course as you're winding it, you're putting a bit of sort of downward force on this, and these bolts are, what, 100 odd years old, 120 years old or something, and the top just flew off. So we got half a bolt still in the hole, and then the top just fell off. I'm hoping that I can take these 4 screws out to the top. I think there's 4, no 5, there's one in the middle at the back. And then this whole section with the top part and all the motor bit should lift out as one. And then I can start trying to get that bolt out of the bottom of here. I think it's screwed into there perhaps at the other end. And I think there might be enough bolt to get some pliers around to unscrew it. And then once I've got that out, hopefully I can put that spare bolt in. Do you remember how we found, well, I say we, I found a bolt rolling around in the bottom of here somewhere. Whoops, there goes the motor. I suppose we best let it run down anyway. I've got a washer there, I don't know where that's from. But yeah, in amongst all these things I did find an extra bolt, and hopefully that will fit in the hole here for the one that's broken. You see how it doesn't spin at the top, by the way? I don't know if you can see that. If I push it upwards, it's spinning now. And that's because the section with the belt on is not really spinning the belt, it's just spinning at the bottom here. It's only when I push it up that the top spins. That's the issue. That's how I know something was wrong, because it wouldn't spin anymore. So we just need to be able to lift this up to its correct position, then we get the top spinning. But if it drops down like it is, you see, it just stops there. Oh, by the way, this is, I think, yeah, this is the wheel that people told me about to get the speed adjusted properly. I mentioned in the video that you adjusted the speed with this. Well, you don't, you adjust it with this. This is like a little nut here that you can move up or down. Depending upon the position of that, it adjusts the speed. Let's get these screws out and see if we can get underneath here, take it all out. There we go. Now, I haven't thought this through because I don't know where it's going to go next. I think we need something to put it down on. I suppose it could go back down on itself in a way, couldn't it? I'm just thinking, is that a viable option if I just pop it back where it came from? Seems to be. Right. Okay. Let's see what's wrong here then. Right, you see that? That is my bolt. Just wonder if I could get needle nose pliers enough on the end of that just to be able to twist it out. It's going to be quite hard to get enough purchase on it, but that's the bolt that's broken. Here's what I've got to go in there, you see? That bolt there with a spring on it. Now, fortunately we can follow this one over here. So we've got a spring underneath there, and a spring on top, and then a washer, and then the bolt. Right, so there's my sheared off bolt. See how it's just cut itself off there? And there's the other piece of spring. So if I was to put that, I don't know if this would be quite right, but and then we put that through the hole and that on the other side, and then tighten it up. So this whole thing is supposed to be like spring cushion, just like a normal record player would be, or a decent one would be. Of course, remember, we did find an extra bolt in here, so I'm just wondering, is there somewhere where that bolt belonged? Well, that one's on a spring there, that one's fine. No, it was an extra bolt. I mean, there's no, yeah, it's it's not missing out of anywhere. Interesting. Right, I've got to try and get that bugger out of there now. Right, now rather amazingly for me, I found my screw extractor pack. I've never used this thing. Somebody suggested I should get one once, so I did, and that's all that's happened to it. So let's see what you do with this. The Speedy Broken Bolt and Damaged Screw Extractor. Number 1, drill out. Number 2, flip bit. Number 3, extract. Biting action allows power of drill to torque out stubborn screws, used with a 3/8 of an inch variable speed reversible drill. Strip screws out fast. Right, well, thanks to this guy, the information mercenary, he shows how to use one of these screw extractor things. There was absolutely no information in the box there other than a blurry picture, but the idea is you always use it in reverse. So you use this side first, this little stubby one here, use that reverse, then you flip it over. And you're just supposed to cut out like a hole in the middle of the screw, so let me get on and do that. I think I could do with a vacuum. We'll give it a go, let's flip it over. I'm not hopeful of this working, but I don't know what else to try after this. Right, so again in reverse. I don't see how this is going to come out of here, you know. Haha, look at that, we're out. Oh, I thought that would never happen. We've moved up to the next size of extractor, so I drilled it out with a smaller one. Moved up to the next one, look at that. It worked. I didn't think this was going to work. Oh, I'm so used to things not working now. Yes, that's the bit that I cut the hole in there. I really thought that would be just too hard to get out. Phew! Right, so let's try and reassemble this with the pieces we've got. So we'll put that spring now. One end's like bent, so I suppose that's the bit that'd go up against the screw, isn't it? So if we imagine that goes in the hole there, I don't know why we're imagining it, we're actually doing it. And then we put this one on the top, and again the flat end should go under the washer. So that should go right through the middle. This feels longer than the one that came out, but then again it would do because the other one was broken. So let's just use this screwdriver, even though it's the wrong size. See if we can get this thing to... That one's broke off. You git. You absolute git. I'll tell you what, I've got some pliers on one of these penknives somewhere that should be able to do this. Wow, so all these screws have just turned to junk, haven't they? I've got to get this one out. I can't believe this. That's insane. It's seriously not coming out. I'm not doing that drilling thing again. That was a nightmare. I think it's moving, that. I can't believe 2 of these just sheared off like that. Well, I can, because it's just happened. Yeah, I think we're getting somewhere with this one. Yeah, just keep moving it. There we go. So that's the other one that's broken off. Brilliant. Yeah, just sheared off like that. Yeah, classic. Well, I got it out. I mean, I suppose that's a positive. I'm going to look through my box of bolts now to see if I can find anything of an appropriate length. You know what, that's not bad, that one. Let's just have a look at the thread, check I'm not stripping the whole thing. I mean, it's not perfect, but I think it'd hold it. Right, so then this goes in here. The washer goes on the top, and then my new screw goes into the top of there. And if I could just get that to bite in there, that'll be enough. It's going. Is that enough to hold it in place? Tiny bit loose, I think, but it doesn't matter because it's holding it on the springs anyway. It's just to stop the whole thing collapsing. Yeah, I mean the whole thing's supposed to wobble a bit. Perhaps not that much. Maybe I could put another washer on there. Let's do that. Just tighten it up there. Yeah, that's all right. That's good, that. That's, yeah. We don't want to break anything. Let's not over tighten. Let's put it back together now. So we just have to flip this over. It's so oily in here, as you can see. My hands have got a lot of oil on. Somebody clearly, before they passed this on to the chap I bought it from, have been keeping it well oiled, so it should work just fine now, I think. That thread there, by the way, I don't know if you can see, I've got the exposure up a bit much here. Let's just take that down. That's where the handle goes in, you know, when you wind it up, and of course that fits in this hole down here. So let's just flip it all over now. Okay, so pop that down on there. Let's screw it back down again, and we'll see if we can get it to play something. I thought when that bolt had sheared off, I thought, well, that's the end of that. I mean, I shouldn't be amazed, because after all, we've just done a very, very basic repair here. But I was just expecting things to go horribly wrong. I thought maybe that bolt had sheared off far enough down that I just wouldn't be able to get to it. And I was surprised I had the right size bolt in the house. I mean, it's not perfect, of course. It's a cross head one. Of course, they weren't using Phillips screws back when this thing was put together. But it seems to be holding it just fine. But those bolts just sheared off, didn't they? Absolutely like soft metal. Did not take very much at all to break those. Okay, so let's just see. Yeah, well, that's spinning fine. Yeah, okay. I think we're all right here. Let me tidy up. Let's see if we can play a cylinder. Okay, now to test this, I have kept one cylinder in the house. I've put the others away in storage, and I've just looked, and it's this advertising record. We've heard it before. I mean, it'd test it, but it's perhaps not going to be the most interesting thing to show. But in the meantime, I was sent a box, and it contains some cylinders. Now, if people find my address online, it's not my address. These go to somebody else, and they're just as likely to throw them away as get in touch with me. But on this occasion, they got in touch. So that's why I recommend do not send anything without asking first, because I'll give you the proper address if it's something that's useful. Otherwise, your stuff might just go in the bin, which would be a shame, because on this occasion, it's some cylinders. And we've got 2 and 4 minute ones here. Got a card in this. Dear Matt, long time fan of your channel. Had no idea you had a phonograph Edison. Here is a card from an exhibition I was a partner of in Kayabasho, is that? Tokyo. I hope you enjoy the new music on an old format. These were actually made in Sheffield for me by Julian Records. Is that Julian? Oh, no, Vulcan Records. Yeah, no, Vulcan Records. I've also included a CD that can be played on a record player that I put together with a band called Severed Heads. Finally, there's an album on CD that revises a 5 1/4, no, that resembles perhaps a 5 1/4 inch floppy disk. Hope you enjoy them anyway. Stephen Jones in Seattle. So this is from Stephen, and he sent me a few things through. And these are new 4 minute cylinders. Let's have a look. Donkey back ride. Not you, see, it says 4 minutes at the bottom there. So those are 4 minutes, those are 2 minutes. There's his thing that resembles a 5 1/4 inch floppy disk. Let's just have a look. So there's a CD in here, is there? Interesting. Oh yeah, there we go. Excuse fingers, but there we go, there's a CD. Don't want to crumple that up, do I? It's a thing about antique phonographs. Could do a reading that, then I might have some knowledge about these. As I mentioned before, I am not knowledgeable about them. I just have one. Not everyone that owns things knows all about them, and this is one of those occasions. Right, I am. My eye is drawn to Donkey Back Ride. Ooh, look at that! A white cylinder record. That's a novelty. thing I want to mention is that he's gone for the deluxe option for the packaging here. You see on the inside we've got a layer of felt, and that's just to keep the tube nicely held inside but without it scratching the edges. You can get these tubes, although they're known as boxes, for Edison cylinders, and they're just the cardboard section, but these ones, it's got that nice felt section to hold it in place. Now, I mentioned that Stephen sent me this box of stuff over as a gift out of the blue, but since I'm showing it in a video, I thought I should mention where you can get hold of some of these things from. It's this website that you see on the screen now, and this is bughlt.com, as shown at the top of the screen. Don't know how you pronounce that, but since I'm showing you where to get them from, and I've got a free gift, I've ticked the paid promotion thing at the beginning, just to be on the safe side. There's swearing at the beginning of this. I wonder if this is the only parental advisory cylinder record that's out there. I think this thing's really struggling with 2-minute records. Let me just wind it up and then take the handle out and see if I can figure out what's going wrong inside. I think I've tightened that up a little bit too much, you know, now. Let me just loosen it a little bit. Right, well, I think I've got the speed right there, and the whole issue was that I just tightened it up a bit much, and the whole thing was just slightly off slant inside. It's amazing how delicate this whole thing is just with regard to its positioning, but it seems to be working just fine now. Just try one more quickly. We'll try a 4-minute one again, and just to see if the speed is right for that as well. So Nocturne, this will do, red one this time. I like these different coloured ones, I've got to say. Question is it stuck or is this the song? Ah, it was stuck, not fully out. Right, I'm not going to play through all these cylinders now. I just wanted to see that it works, and we've proven that. I just took them all out of the boxes though to see what colours we've got. Got this grey one here as well, which is nice, and I thought, oh, another white one. Turns out that's Donkey Back Ride again, same as that one, but in a box labelled Et Vicurt or something. So I don't know if that was a mislabeled one, but it doesn't matter anyway. Thanks very much to Stephen again for sending these through. But yeah, please, if you're going to send anything, just get in touch, because there's a very good chance it'll just end up in the bin, and that would be very sad for something that someone's put this much effort into. So yeah, get in touch first. I'll give you the proper address if it's something that I'll be able to use in a video. But yeah, that was my Thomas Edison phonograph repair. As I mentioned before in videos, I'm not great at repairing stuff. I just tinker around, and yeah, I was capable of removing a bolt and replacing it with another one. That's about the limit of my skill. But at least we got it working. It'd be a shame after all these years if this thing had to be thrown away just down to a sheared off bolt. Fortunately, got it working again, so it'll live to play another day. Anyway, that's it for the moment. As always, thanks for watching.